Hello, everyone. My name is Ravi Kumar, President at Infosys. Welcome to this new chapter of Trailblazers. Today, I have a visionary leader, the founder and CEO of Pegasystems, Alan Trefler. Alan, an old friend of mine, is a technology change agent, an innovative philanthropist, I call it, and a trusted advisor to business executives around the world. Alan's unique vision is about designing a platform for living applications that business people can evolve dynamically to a sentient environment to manage constant disruption and change in today's customer-centric economy. And that's how Alan built Pegasystems. And way back in 1983, he started this company. And over the years, he's been on the cutting edge of innovation with Pegasystems. Alan's deep interest comes from his college days where he played chess, and he used the game to pivot on how software development should be done. Alan has written a book called Built for Change, describing how customers have this unprecedented power to make or break brands in a digital world. Alan and his wife, Pam, established the Trefler Foundation in 1996 to improve educational outcomes. Thank you so much, Alan, for joining in today for this conversation with us.
Thank you, Ravi. It's a real pleasure, and we really appreciate our relationship together. It's to see what we've been able to achieve.
Thank you, Alan. Thank you for the partnership. Let me first congratulate you for joining this elite group of companies who have crossed $1 billion of revenues and ringing the bell at the NASDAQ this year. What was going on?
That was fun. It's interesting. It's on one hand, it's just a number. On the other hand, we did really grind it out the organic way, as opposed to just putting lots of businesses together. And I think we've built a really good culture to be able to work with our clients and our partners and achieve, great things going forward too.
Alan, you've been a technology purist in many ways, and you've stayed away from this massive M&A exercise which goes on in the tech world. And I've asked you this question many times, how long? And you've always said, I'm going to stay as long as I can. Tell us a little bit about, I know the $1 billion is a rare view for you. Tell us a little bit about where Pega is headed for.
Well, we're enormously excited because in the last several years, we've really aggressively pushed our pivot to an as-a-service business ourselves. Our Pega Cloud business, grew greater than 50% for the last couple of years, every year. And on top of that, our client cloud, which is where clients themselves can run on the cloud of their choice, is also growing terrifically. So I feel we have a lot to add on that front. In terms of the functionality that's built into our technology, the idea of being model driven, the idea of being at a real sort of no code way of implementing, but doing it in a way that's both simple and sophisticated, I think provides really unique advantages for our customers. And our team now of over 5,600 strong people, I think, is beautifully positioned to propel our clients to really take advantage of this model-driven, no-code approach.
In fact, Alan, I think you are the original founder of low-code, no-code in many ways. You've been saying this for 30 years now. I actually now see this new wave of low-code, no-code platforms hitting the market and saying this is the next big thing. And you've been saying this for so many years. Tell us a little bit about how the transition from enterprise software to low-code, no-code will happen now, more than ever before, and how you're positioned so well, because you always said you're a low-code, no-code platform.
Yeah, it's interesting because now lots of people have jumped on this bandwagon. We've had the opportunity to really think about it a long time and deliver a lot more to our clients and with our partners at a completely different level of sophistication. It's funny because a lot of people who are claiming low code, from my point of view, they're just the next generation of Lotus Notes, simplistic ways to maybe put something together that's not going to rise to the challenge of meeting the sophistication of customers who are really trying to compete in hyper competitive markets. We've been able to bring our experience and our design thinking technology to be able to really accelerate the way that companies can apply technology and evolve technology. Helps, that's where our tagline, build for change, comes from. It's not enough to just build or throw things together. You need to have something sophisticated enough to let you continue changing, and that requires build for change. So I think we've got terrific experience to build on and a terrific technology base.
And Alan, coming to low code, no code, one of the things which is fascinating about it is, as applied AI gets embraced in businesses, you need every user to be a power user. You need every user to be producer of software rather than a consumer of software. How does that switch happen from a consumer to a producer? What are those constraints you believe has taken just a few small set of companies to say that visual model-based coding, like what Pega does, is so unique, and that should be the way forward for enterprise software? I've not seen enterprise software companies say so. They're only doing it now. You've been saying it for so long. What do you think are the constraints for large enterprises?
Well, I think that it's critical to recognize that most businesses are dimensional. And so you need to be able to have a model that enables you to incorporate things that are standard and then complement them with things that are specialized. The other thing that's absolutely critical, that if you look at the so-called low-code market, is you need to make sure that the business logic, think of that as the combination of the rules and elements of AI, that business logic cannot live in the channels. You see people coding business logic into the desktop or the web channel, and that just is not the right way to do it. We have a approach we call center out, which enables businesses to think differently about the business. It's not really the technology approach uniquely. It's really about saying, hey, we're going to define the micro journeys. We're going to use next best action AI capabilities to drive continuous conversations between customers and businesses, to drive high velocity automation across different backends, and to do it in a way that makes it easy for organizations to do it reliably and to change.
And Alan, I know that you're a big fan of reskilling and building skills for the future. And the Pega Academy is very unique in many ways to creating specialized talent pools. How does the Pega Academy envision democratization of skills, which is needed for applied AI to be scaled and industrialized in enterprises?
One of the reasons I started Pega was that I thought, and remember, this was in the 80s, that technology was overcomplicated. It was getting people to concentrate not on what was important to their businesses, but on the technical minutia. What I'll tell you, in the last 30 years, it's gotten worse. The cloud, which we love, is a enormously, fragile sometimes and complicated environment that requires an enormous amount of technical expertise. By using a model-driven approach, and by really having, I think, mastered the idea of building design thinking into our methodology, we're able to, using our Pega Academy, teach people who do not have very deep technical skills how to organize their thinking so that they can define what they want the outcomes to be and how they want them to vary. And then from that, our system literally writes the code. So instead of humans programming, we have business people defining, and then the software can literally drive change. It's, I think, a novel concept.
And Alan, that's so well said. This is very unique and very novel, I would say. Do you see the health crisis as some kind of an inflection point of consumption of technology and consumption of software, building connected products and connected services, and more importantly, driving the scale and industrialization of applied AI? Do you see that as an inflection point, and accelerated digitization is going to happen as we get to the other side of the health crisis?
Yeah, absolutely. I believe that this crisis has just reinforced to organizations that they have to think differently about how they operate and how they apply technology. And what we talk about is how all organizations are realizing they need to become platforms, that everything that they sell, everything they offer a client is not going to be manufactured by them. And that you see in industries like the automotive industry, people talking not about assets and cars, but talking about offering mobility. In telcos, you don't have people talking about building and selling handsets or selling even 5G. They're offering communications. They're offering a seamless service to their customers. That's going to require new generations of platforms. And I think that is perfectly aligned with the sort of platforms we can enable our customers and our partners to take advantage of.
Alan, thank you so much for that. Growing up in India, I was very fascinated by the game of chess. It kind of curated my thinking process in many ways. You have a very unique background. You worked in an antique store. I'm told you were the 1975 co-champion for the World Chess Championships. How much of those early experiences kind of shaped your thinking for what made Pega such a pioneering effort from you?
Well, look, when I was growing up, I worked with my father in the family business, which is actually a antique and collectible restoration business. Amazingly, this year, it's 100 years old. My father came over after World War II and, having survived the war in Europe, established the family business here in the United States. And it's a very difficult hands-on business, but it taught me a lot about the appreciation of doing things of high quality and also engaging with customers. When I was a sophomore in college and I tied for first in the World Open, which was a shocking upset to everyone, it actually was my real introduction to computers and teaching computers to play chess, which exposed me to a lot of thinking about how do you model the way that a chess master evaluates positions. Today we do chess computing quite a bit differently, but in that era, we really wanted to try to see how a master thinks, evaluates, and plans. And we built some technology that ran pretty well. But what I love, chess is great as a game, but what I really love is working with customers and working hard with my team to build a great and sustaining business. And that's something that excites us every day.
Thank you, Alan. Thank you for that inspirational story. Thank you so much for building such a unique software platform for the world to consume, for the enterprises across the world to be uniquely sentient using Pega. Thank you for your partnership. And I look forward to working with you. You're a tech visionary, tech change agent, as I call it. And you've always been different to everybody else I have actually met in the big tech world. So thank you for being so different and so unique in your own way.
Well, thank you, Ravi. We appreciate the partnership. We appreciate you having thousands of trained and certified Pega experts yourself. And we look forward to working with you to do what's best for our joint clients. Thank you very much.
Thank you for our discussion today. Thank you so much.